Kia ora, I'm Miriam McCummell. It's a fortress, its secrets closely guarded. For 4 years, Team New Zealand has been off limits to everyone in the lead up to the America's Cup. But for the past 6 weeks, Rebecca Wright has had exclusive access. Tonight we take you behind the walls of the campaign to talk high-tech, high-speed sailing and spying.
There is a battle brewing out on Auckland's Hauraki Gulf.
In a winning sports team, you have to have a bit of a siege mentality because that hardens your edge. Sharpens the blade a little bit.
Grant Dalton is Team New Zealand's driving force.
You have a kind of brute force about you.
Well, I'm a blunt instrument, but I know that, you know.
Constant graph, you're just going all the time. There's never really an off switch.
Stephen Ferguson, one of 15 sailors setting out to defend the America's Cup.
I'm not the oldest on the boat, but I'm the oldest grinder, so got quite a few years on a lot of the other lads.
When you're on the boat, you're fully at the mercy of what the boys need, and so, yeah, that took a bit of getting used to for sure, to sort of keep pace with everyone.
In fighting for a spot, upcoming grinder Finn Henry.
It looks really tiring.
Yeah, it is tiring. It's a fair assessment, eh? It is pretty tiring.
Operations Chief Kevin Shoebridge keeps a lower profile, but his partnership with Grant Dalton is vital to the team.
Do you cool things down from time to time? Are you a calming influence?
I guess you could say that. Yeah, I guess I'm the softer pair of hands between the two of us. He knows when the right time is to give me hell, and he kind of knows when it's time to let me go, you know?
It is a new team which will defend the America's Cup, led by sailing superstars Pete Burling and Blair Tuke.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot bigger team this time around. Not just in the wider team, we've got about 130 people, but in the sailing team we've got 11 guys, and definitely from pretty diverse background.
Some surprising new blood.
So you're not a sailor?
No, it's the first time.
You never raced before?
No, so that's quite exciting for me.
Stephen Ferguson has competed in 4 Olympics as a swimmer and a kayaker, but never in an America's Cup.
Without having any idea about sailing, all I knew was what I could control, and that was my performance level and how hard I could work. And for me, it was really just listen to that and learn as much as I could, as quick as I could.
What's the learning curve been like on this gig?
It's been huge, massive. I can't compare anything to it.
Recruitment, like the team, is proudly unorthodox.
These guys don't look like sailors in boat shoes and polo necks anymore, do they? They look like All Blacks.
It's changed a bit, yeah, especially the grinders. Because these boats require so much power, hydraulic power, that has to be generated by the grinders. Some roles in the boat that we knew we could fill with just absolute strongest guys we could find.
How did a kid from Kaikoura get a start with Team New Zealand?
Yeah, it's pretty shocking, eh? I don't know quite how it unfolded.
Not a big sailing capital of the world.
Yeah, exactly. Not a massive sailing spot. Too many rocks, I reckon, down there, but I got a chance to work for a year in the shed as a part of the shore crew. Came in as a young guy, but was sneaking into the gym 5 days a week and making himself bigger, and in the end, we gave him a go and suggested, that he might be another option for a grinder.
Youngest in the team, looks up to a lot of the guys, and he's improving real fast, which is really exciting. And that's great for us because you see this, guys like Finn who are working really hard, and that motivates us more to try and make sure we stay ahead of him. But then, he's tapping at our heels real quick.
So we've got a soldier, a rower, a surf lifesaver, a swimmer, but they've all managed to sort of morph into the team, and some of their first experience of sailing boats is on these things, which is completely unnatural.
As I was about to find out.
Okay, we're going to put you on now.
Okay, any advice?
No, you'll be good.
Sit there and hang on.
Because this boat doesn't sail, it soars.
Elise, how do you make a boat fly?
The main element for lifting the hulls out of the water is the foils. So We have foils in the water and their function is essentially the same as the wings on an aeroplane.
Elise Beavis is a performance engineer on her second Cup campaign.
They operate just like a plane's wing to lift it up. And then meanwhile, at the back of the boat, we have the rudder, so that turns that way, which is like what your steering wheel would control on any normal boat.
It's a crazy kind of boat.
Yeah, it's a really cool boat, and the speeds it goes are phenomenal.
It feels even faster on board.
He's on the port side, right? Yeah.
There is no safety harness. I'm hanging on with one arm for dear life.
See your hand over the side. See that? All you can see is a hand over the side.
That was me holding on for my life.
Yeah. You can tell. You look like you relaxed into it a bit more when you got up there. And
I have no idea what happened out there. Yeah. And then it was also very exhilarating. Mostly horrific. It is an extraordinary machine, but this is not the actual boat which will defend the America's Cup. This is. And it came down Auckland's northern motorway in the dead of night while the competition were sleeping.
So they got it here in one piece. Next, the componentry goes in, the fittings go in.
Yeah, we're just doing the final fit out now, so all the hydraulic stuff and so forth goes in now. It takes a few weeks.
And the secret weapon, when does that go in?
Might be in.
I love all the intrigue around this game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it, isn't it?
Always has been. Yeah. I mean, it's part of the game. You don't want anyone else to know what you're doing. Keep it quiet.
But you want to know what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. That's how it works.
The American, British and Italian teams have now all arrived.
Is it starting to feel real?
It definitely is, yeah. I think the pressure's starting to rise a bit.
Last month, launching their second race boats within days of each other.
Nobody knows right now what racing is like in these boats, do they?
No, again, because of what happened with COVID, you know, the regattas that were planned for Europe didn't happen. So here we are 4 months out or 3 months out from the Cup. These boats have never even been on a racetrack.
What's that feeling like, seeing everybody out on their boat too?
it's frustrating because I want to sail, and we all want to sail. But at the same time, we know that what we're doing in the shed right now is super important.
Coming up,
We're not going to get run down by them, are we, Ray?
the spies are out
There goes American Magic now.
and the knives are out.
Let's talk about the controversies.
Which one?
This is what...
Out on the Hauraki Gulf, the spy game is on. Each team trying to find out as much as possible about how their rivals are doing.
Quite a funny game, isn't it? A little bit of espionage.
bizarre.
Ray Davies is Team New Zealand's sailing coach, but today he's gathering intel, like everyone else out here.
And then we got the British one over here, Prada on our bow.
What's the etiquette here? Do we just join the group?
Yeah. We'll just get in there.
It's really cool to see them up close, to see the boats here in the water.
Yeah.
So there's all three Challenger boats out here for the first time testing today, but around them, there goes American Magic now, is a flotilla of intel and recon boats, because this is a great opportunity for spying as well.
We'll just keep behind them, observe what sails they've got up, mirror them and sail along with them to try and see what speed and angles they're doing. Jibe, 2, 1, anytime now. Here we go, and their rudder let go, so that was a bad jibe. They skidded out, so they won't be happy with that. So that's the sort of thing we're trying to observe and see.
And there are plenty of places that data can end up.
Are you racing the other teams in the simulator at the moment?
We can do. We can do. But we can race another boat in the simulator, yes.
This is much more than just a yacht race, isn't it?
It's not just about the sport. It's got glamour, it's got intrigue, it's got backstabbing, it's got technology, it's kind of days of our lives. It's got everything.
Do you need to be tough to be in this business?
I remember Bertarelli once said that nice people don't win the America's Cup, and people that have won it aren't nice people in most cases, well, in all cases.
How many America's Cups have you won?
I've only won one.
How many times have you won it?
3.
How many times have you lost?
I guess 6.
Oracle Team USA wins the 34th America's Cup.
The most painful loss in San Francisco, where Team New Zealand lost 8 races in a row. A harrowing and historic defeat.
Look, I don't want to dredge up the past because we've moved on, sort of, from San Francisco. Sort of.
Emirates Team New Zealand!
Redemption was found at the last America's Cup in Bermuda by a new generation of sailors.
How's it going at the moment?
Yeah, good. Well, we're obviously in the transition from boat 1 to boat 2, so it's, I suppose, time where the sailing team's off the water, but it's a time where we do a lot of development.
Start gearing up, get back on the water again. There's a lot of fever going on in the building at the moment. It's pretty exciting, and can't wait to be able to launch this boat.
1, 2, double straight.
But behind the scenes, the management team are busy.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the controversies.
Which one?
How about the latest, a bust-up with the government ministry funding part of the event?
And it's over the allocation of $3 million, which the ministry says is not a legitimate event cost.
Yes, we are in a dispute on $3 million. It'll go to mediation.
Team New Zealand is arguing it shouldn't have to pay for the cost of developing the rule for the new class of boats that all the teams will race in the Cup.
It's based around a cost that we believe is an event cost for the development of the rule. We think that's a legitimate event cost. I mean, I can't in any way think that that should be a team cost.
Have you misspent or misappropriated any public money?
No, not in any way, and that's been proven by Rivalries, reputable forensic auditors, and also auditors that we brought in to check. So there's a double check there, and MB...
They want your head.
Yeah, well, they're not the first people. I've been around a long time.
Mediation between MB and Team New Zealand will happen in December.
He knows what he wants, and he's absolutely driven. And to be honest, without it, this place wouldn't be what it is. Like, you need it.
He's a fighter.
Yeah, he is.
Is he a bit scary, Dalton?
Grant Dalton, terrifying, I'd say. Yeah, it's always a bit nerve-wracking when Grant Dalton comes and watches you do something down in the shed.
That's where Boat 2 is taking shape.
It is top secret in here. Yeah. Nothing gets out of here, does it?
No. No. As soon as we pop the door up, even a metre, we know one of our opposition will have a camera looking in.
How hard do you have to drive this team?
We like to rely on everybody being self-motivated, but they call me Red Dog, and there's a reason for that, because when I bark loud.
Red Dog runs the shed and the sailing crew when they work in here too.
I have a job to do on the boat, but off the water as well. The job doesn't stop, and we've got to get straight into help building the boat and helping all the other designers, boat builders, whatever, with their jobs.
You try to sort of get yourself into a good department where you can get better quality jobs than cleaning out the bins and stuff. But yeah, for sure we get put to work in the shed during the day.
So what sets this boat apart?
So ultimately the average speeds for the boats are way up in the 40s. Knot range, hitting that 50 knot, the magical mark, it's sort of like cracking a sound barrier. As soon as you take your foot off the accelerator, that's a few seconds you give your opposition.
What's it like to get inside that hull and sit inside there? And...
You've seen pictures of astronauts crawling through the International Space Station, and there's controls and functions going on all around them. It's sort of like that inside this boat. We're ready, our senior management are like, how are we going? Can we go fast, get this boat out quicker? And yes, we're trying, but ultimately we've got to make sure it's 100% ready to sail.
There's an army behind those guys that are sitting on that boat at the end. In a team of 155, I think we've got 15 sailors, so it just shows you the offset of other departments that are critical to making it work.
Finally, Red Dog's army of shore crew deliver the new boat, Te Rehutai, on time to the team and their friends and family who gather at Auckland's Viaduct for the big reveal.
May God bless her and all who sail on her.
All recorded by the usual entourage of spies, of course.
What is the key to winning this time?
The fastest boat always wins the America's Cup. That's the statement, and that's pretty much all-encompassing, but that kind of is it. And the fastest boat usually has to have the best sailors on it too.
New boat. Excited?
Yeah, we're definitely excited to get out on the new boat. It's a culmination of a lot of hard work of a lot of people, a lot of development on boat one. We're definitely excited about getting out there and giving it a go.
So this is really the moment of truth for the new boat.
Yeah, we're really excited. The 75,000 man hours of hard work in the shed, and now it's our turn to get out there on the boat and do what we do best and win the cup for New Zealand.
Well, racing for the America's Cup begins on March 6th, but the yachts will face off for the first time next month for the Christmas Cup. It'll be the first time these boats will have ever been raced, so 1-1.